What's up, 2K fans? Dom 2K on the mic, and today I'm doing a little bit of a different video. Today I'm going to be listing what I feel is the top 10 teams in NBA 2K kind of history. And I say that because this is going to be pertaining to the 2Ks that came out after the PS3's launch. Because I feel like that's when more people started to play 2K and move away from live. And that's also when 2K's gameplay started to shift, more. It started to mold into more and more realistic gameplay. And I feel like these are the teams people are going to be more realistic with. And plus, I didn't really play a lot of 2Ks before 2K7 or 2K5. So, yeah, that's going to be the window. And, that's the ones people are going to remember anyways, more than likely. And, before I get into that, if you're one of the people asking about the Three Kings of New York still, I don't know how you've been subscribed to me or, follow my Instagram and have somehow missed that the series is not even running right now. I still get a comment or a kick from time to time saying, just play the game. I don't like this season as much. And I'm just like, what season? The season isn't even running right now. Like, I addressed that a month ago in a full-length video named My Commentary, The Future of the Three Kings of New York. If you have any questions, I answered them all in there. And basically, I'm not going to marginalize myself going on to the future. I definitely am going to do the Three Kings of New York. That is one of my favorite things to do. But I'm also going to, drop different things too. I like to do the top 10 countdowns that I do, little mini features. I'm going to work on other things. I'm going to do videos like this too. I'm not going to just box myself into one type of video because, it's hard to expand that way. And I don't enjoy just doing one type of video. So, yeah, definitely go watch that in my commentary if you somehow missed that. But anyways, let's go ahead and get into this top 10 because I'm excited for this one. This is a good one.
Number 10, the 2K9 Cleveland LeBrons.
The unstoppable King James, LeBron James, is suited up and ready to roll.
Yes, you heard that right. A Cleveland Cavaliers roster that wasn't from this year actually made my top 10 list. Now, you might be asking yourself why, and I'm not going to even pretend here. It's because of LeBron James, purely because of LeBron James. Now, LeBron James has been overpowered since pretty much 2K9 and in pretty much every 2K. Maybe overpowered is the wrong word, but in NBA 2K9, it was the worst because you couldn't stop this man, nor any other superstar from really dunking in that game. It's before 2K had, real physics and all that, where they would fall over each other. And boy, if you activated a dunk animation, there was no stopping it. You put him in a pick and roll situation with Ilgauskas, he was going to the rim, dunking it every single time. And for the few, like 10 points that he didn't score for the Cavaliers, Mo Williams and Delonte West were waiting on the three-point line, and they could knock down some threes. Extremely hard team to beat, only because of LeBron James, and that's why they made the list. I'm not going to spend too much time on them because that should be pretty self-explanatory. There's teams that are better than them, but boy, LeBron made them hella hard to beat.
Number 9, the 2K13 Clippers.
And here's Kobe, and taken away by Paul. Throws it up high. Oh, what a play!
Oh, look at that.
That is a
bringing down the house.
Now, this is a team that people may or may not have slept on back in NBA 2K13 because I know the Heat and the Lakers and even the Thunder back then were a fan favorite to use. But boy, the Clippers were a virtual basketball player's best dream back then because they were so athletic. And we all know how 2K rewards athleticism. You have Blake Griffin and DeAndre Jordan matched up with Chris Paul. But then you also had Caron Butler there and Eric Bledsoe. And all of those guys, you run in transition, you just toss the ball up and somebody was going to catch it back then. But what really made this team so good and was definitely, they were the team that I used for 2K13 is that they were so deep. They were at least 2 or 3 players deep at every position. So like you had Eric Bledsoe and CP3 at the point guard. Shooting guard, you had Crawford, Willie Green, and Billups. All of them could shoot threes. Small forward, you had Barnes, Butler, and Hill. And I can't remember what I used Hill for. I just remember that he was useful. He did get rotation time for me. Then you had Blake Griffin and Lamar Odom. This is back when Lamar Odom was still versatile. He could still hit a jumper and spread the floor. Then you had DeAndre Jordan at the center, and Turioff basically came in just to be a big body. But anyways, this team was so much fun to use. So many highlights. Blake Griffin, that spin dunk cheese that you could do in 2K13, never ending. But the other thing that really made this team good is that you could control the game with Chris Paul because of his defense, his scoring, his crossovers. I remember the first day I got the game, I might have the picture still. I made Dwayne Wade fall like 3 times in one game with Chris Paul. I still have that picture saved on my phone. It was amazing. So the 2013 Clippers definitely make the top 10 list. And I don't know if they make anybody else's, but they make mine.
Number 8, the 2K12 Thunder.
Now, this is where the list might start to look a little bit more familiar for people who weren't agreeing. The 2K12 Thunder. Now, anybody who's been playing 2K since then knows how good this Thunder squad was. And you don't really even have to be playing 2K to know that, because they made the NBA Finals the same year. But what really made them dangerous was Kevin Durant. Now, I have nightmares still about trying to guard Kevin Durant in NBA 2K12, because this dude was giving you the three-pointer, the mid-range. He was getting to the rim. But wait, that's not all. You had to guard Westbrook, too, at that same time. Extremely explosive team. And this was back when Kendrick Perkins was worth more than a sack of potatoes. So he could still rebound and somewhat play defense back then. And, you know, that's back when they had Derek Fisher, too. So he would come in and hit a three-pointer every now and then. You had Cephalosha and Ibaka in there for defense. You know, some of the best people I played against on 2K12 online, they were definitely using the Oklahoma City Thunder. And it was a majority because of Kevin Durant and just how hard he was to guard that year. So the 2K12 Thunder definitely get my nod for a top 10 spot on this roster, because, man, him and Westbrook, that they're still hard to guard, but back in 2K12, they were a different type of hard to guard. That was whatever was in that game made them really, really hard to guard back then.
Number 7, the 94-95 Orlando Magic, NBA 2K13.
Here's a team I know a lot of people don't know about because, well, you know, for some reason 2K didn't let you use legend teams online, and they still don't. Only if you were playing with your friends. But the 94-95 Magic, this is like a really well hidden secret if you don't use legend teams. And you only need to know one thing, really. Shaquille O'Neal. Everything starts and ends with him on this team. He's like a brick wall. He does your rebounding, your defense, and all of your offense. Now, I know a lot of people in 2K don't like to do post moves, but Shaq, I mean, it's so easy. If you'll run pick and rolls and throw him an alley, or you'll just go in the post with Shaq. Like, you don't even have to get that technical. Shaq will score the basketball. But here's what made them really, really good, aside from having Penny Hardaway. You couldn't double team Shaq, because if you double team Shaq, he was passing it out to Dennis Scott, or he was passing out to Nick Anderson, and they were going to pop a three. And this was the team that my friend loved to use when we were playing 7-game series online. And man, that team was super duper hard to guard. They weren't so deep, but Shaq, yeah, Shaquille O'Neal basically, and especially because online was only a 5-minute quarter, Shaquille O'Neal made that team a nightmare to deal with. And if you want to know what that's like, just watch the Orlando Magic from season 1 of the Three Kings of New York, because it was the same thing. I had Shaq and Hakeem there, and I had a bunch of three-pointers surrounding them, so you couldn't do anything about, you know, that abuse that was going down there in the post. So yeah, 94-95 Magic make number 7 on the list.
Number 6, the 85-86 Celtics, NBA 2K13.
Yes, my Boston Celtics. Now, I wasn't alive back then, so I'm not even going to lie here. I actually kind of learned about this team through the NBA 2K franchise. And if you want to know how the power of this team, go and watch my episode where I played the Timberwolves. Now, the Timberwolves have McHale and Parrish on that team. I put them there. And see what they did to me in that video. But then go just imagine Larry Bird playing with them. That's how good this Boston Celtics team was. Now, what made them really hard to guard was that you had Robert Parrish, who has an array of post moves. You have Kevin McHale, who has an array of post moves. But then Kevin McHale has a jump shot, too. And Larry Bird has easily always been one of the smartest offensive players in 2K. So, you know, he's always going to make the right pass. And don't you dare let Larry Bird, like, get an inch of space on you, because that shot is not going to miss. So you basically have 3 people that are unguardable there that have no answer. And people probably didn't know about them because, you know, they in 2K at least, because, you know, they're not really athletic, and people love athletic teams in 2K. But if you took the time to search out the 85-86 Celtics, man, they were packing heat back then. I didn't even know it until I tried to play against them. Yeah, that team was packing heat.
Number 5, the 2K9 Celtics.
All right, we're now in the top 5, and this is where shit gets real. The NBA 2K9 Celtics. Now, I'm so glad the 2K community spoke up this year. We actually got in 2K's ear and they listened, because they added this team for us, the 2K9 Celtics. And this team was so hard to beat, but I wouldn't know because I used them. I'm a Celtic fan. I used them. I never had to be on the receiving end of that. But what made this team really hard is how good the Big Three was, and specifically Kevin Garnett. I think Kevin Garnett had just came off of a Defensive Player of the Year award, if I'm not mistaken. And not only that, the dude could windmill in this game. And Kevin, I told you, like, back when I talked about LeBron, yeah, players had unstoppable dunks. Kevin Garnett never windmilled with the Celtics, but he did it in 2K9. He had a nice jump shot to him. Ray Allen was giving you heat from everywhere on the three-point line. And Pierce was your guy giving it to you off the dribble. And not only that, they had such a good supporting cast. You know, this is back before Rondo was really much. But you still had Eddie House, Leon Poe, James Posey, Tony Allen, all those guys coming off the bench. Just an amazing, amazing roster. Sam Cassell was even in that, actually, now that I think about it. And, of course, they had Scalabrine, too, so how could they not be great?
Number 4, the 1990-91 Warriors, NBA 2K13.
Okay, here's a team that I absolutely know nobody knows about. This is the Run TMC 1990-1991 Warriors in 2K13. Boy, if you did not get a piece of Run TMC, I feel bad for you. And if you need to know about them, just ask my friend that I used to play against the Nightmares that he probably still has about what I did to him with those three. Let me just break them down for you. First of all of their three-point shots were just incredible. Some of the best shooters I've ever used in 2K. But individually, Tim Hardaway was crossing you over, breaking your ankles, and he could get to the rim, but he could also shoot like hell. Mitch Richmond, he could do basically he wasn't crossing you over, but he had an even stronger take to the rim, but he could never miss a three, and he was going to hit you with the fadeaway a lot. And then there was Chris Mullin, flat out, hands down, best shooter I've ever used in 2K. Dude never missed a shot. Off the bench, they had a guy named Marshallonis, and he played a little bit like Ginobili, minus the jump shot, but the man had a nice Euro step. He could get to the rim. The only thing that kept this team from being number one on my list is that they just did not have good defense, because my friend used to take Allen Iverson, and he used to just shred my defense. I couldn't do anything. I think he averaged like 40 points in one series with me, and he beat me a few times. But yeah, man, their offense though, the three-pointers were insane, and I think 2K took note of that, and they definitely lowered them, because if you use them now, they aren't as good as they were back then. But Run TMC in 2K13, that was a damn squad.
Number 3, 95-96 Bulls, any 2K.
Now, any year that you use the 95-96 specific Chicago Bulls, you're destined to win. People, I feel like people get sucked into this abyss where they kind of think that MJ won rings on his own, and no, he didn't. But that's another story. This team is really, really good in 2K. In NBA 2K11, I actually started a playoff run with the Bulls, which might or might not be on screen right now. It depends on what I decide to show. And only reason we didn't win the championship is because NBA 2K12 come out, because we were dominating all the modern teams with these dudes. Michael Jordan, it's enough that you have him, and anybody who's ever played with Michael Jordan knows what kind of heat he packs in this game. But take Scottie Pippen, though. He's what really kept this team off, because Dennis Rodman was your rebounder. You had Kukoc and Kerr as shooters. But man, Pippen, not only was his defense good, he could really, really take it to the basket and dunk on some players. That dude, having him and MJ made it really hard. And if they decided to double MJ, you pass it out to Scotty, and he can knock down some shots too. Team was extremely, extremely hard to beat. And I pretty much guarantee that if you turn it on right now and use those Bulls, you can basically take down, you can take down most modern teams with them, because they were so defensively sound. So that's really what gets them, is their defense. Michael and Scotty plus the defense really makes the 95-96 Bulls a force to be reckoned with in any 2K game that you decide to use them in.
Number 2, the 2K13 Lakers.
Now, this one is my favorite. Number 2, the Los Angeles Lakers from 2K13. Whew, I know when 2K13 came out, dudes could not wait to hop on the Lakers and cheat like a motherfucker, because those dudes were so overpowered. When you didn't have to worry about Steve Nash breaking in half, Kobe Bryant's Achilles tendon, Paul Gasol's foot, Dwight Howard's back, or Mike D'Antoni's poor coaching, that team was so unbelievable in the video game form, and we all knew it, basically because you could win with any two guys. If you wanted to use Steve Nash and Dwight Howard and pick and roll people to death, you could do it. You could pick and roll people to death with Kobe and Howard. If you were like me and you even knew how to use big man, Gasol and Howard would give people the business. They had so many weapons. The only team, I'm gonna get to that actually. I don't want to say that yet, but yeah, this Lakers team, 2K13 was what they were supposed to be in real life. Anybody who played online knows you had to hate dudes that were playing with the Lakers, and some of y'all were even probably happy when they finally, got too injured and 2K took them offline, because that team was like a real life cheat code, super duper hard to beat, and yeah, that isn't even that far removed. So I'm pretty sure some of you guys remember what I'm talking about.
Number 1, the 2K13 Miami Heat.
Now, if you have a different opinion, maybe you do, I don't know, but in my humble opinion, the number 1 team in NBA 2K history has got to be the NBA 2K13 Heat. This team was so unfair on so many different levels. Now, first of all, NBA 2K13 kind of saw the return. I don't know if it ever left, but I'm going to say the return of God dunks. This is basically, like I said, any superstar player, you couldn't stop them from dunking. And it used to piss me off to no end how people would take the Heat and just rape it with LeBron, the dunk after dunk. You couldn't do anything with it. And it was worse because they were covered by three-point shooters. Not only did you have Wade and Bosh in that team, you had Cole, Battier, Chalmers, Ray Allen. And here's the thing. In NBA 2K13, nobody ever really, there wasn't a lot of people when they used the Heat, they didn't really know how to use them. All they wanted to do was span with LeBron. But here's the thing. This is what I didn't want to say in the last one. With the Los Angeles Lakers, if you picked the Los Angeles Lakers in 2K13, I was picking the Heat. And if I decided to pick the Heat, somebody else picked the Lakers. And if I pick the Heat, look, y'all can't hold me to this. You can't beat me with the 2013 Heat. There's no way, because it's too easy to win. The thing was, first of all, nobody ever used Bosh in NBA 2K13. And, you know, I feel, like I said, he's the most disrespected guy in that big three. But I used to beat people with Bosh alone because it's like, you know, you could put him in a pick and pop situation with LeBron James or Wade. And he has jump shots all the time because people just, for some reason, didn't think he could knock it down. You know, I didn't start Ray Allen because he was like a big piece of the bench, so of course I didn't want to start him. But you know, you have him come off the bench, knock down threes. Dwayne Wade, LeBron, they had three guys capable of taking over a game at any time. And if you use the Miami Heat, you have no excuse to lose to anybody except the Lakers. And I don't really think I ever did. Like maybe them or the Thunder. And yeah, the 2K13 Heat, man, that team was just so unfair on so many different levels. I put them over the Lakers. It was a hard call, but I put them over the Lakers because I feel like LeBron, Wade, and Bosh, that was crazy. In video game form, that shit was crazy. You know, video games kind of just always assumed that they were all healthy. So, you know, Dwayne Wade never really lost a step. And, man, that team was tough to deal with. And, yeah, they're going to, you know, it's going to be a while before somebody knocks them off first place because I don't even think this Cleveland team they have now, as far as video game form, I don't think they knock them off the mountain for first place. Alright, we're going to get a bonus round just because I had to do it. You know, I'm going to brag a little bit. I'm not really bragging. I don't take this shit that seriously. I'm just having a little bit of fun, but whatever. We're going to go ahead and say it right here. Credit Dom 2K with making the best team in 2K history within a realistic round, meaning I didn't just stack it with 10 superstars, okay? I mean, other teams can still compete with them. And it's easily the Three Kings of New York Season 2 Los Angeles Lakers. Best team in 2K that you'll be able to put together under realistic terms. So, like, talking about like the Miami Heat, they were like, you know, they were video game-like, but they were also realistic. I'm going to name you the roster off the top of my head. Okay, starting point guard, Magic Johnson. Shooting guard, Michael Jordan. Small forward, Larry Bird. Power forward, Julius Randle. Center, Brad Daugherty. Backup point guard, Ron Harper. Backup shooting guard, Nick Young. Backup small forward, Michael Cooper. Backup power forward, Ryan Anderson. Backup center, Vlade Divac. Unfucking beatable by so many different standards. Now, we're going to talk about the Three Kings of New York a little bit. Now, if you watch my first video of Season 2 with the Rockets, when I played the Lakers with the Rockets, yeah, that's the only time I beat that team. I haven't beat them since then. Now, I'm in the playoffs right now in the Three Kings of New York. I'm in the playoffs, and I'm not in the finals yet, but if I do meet the Lakers in the finals, I'm a little bit scared because I never beat them. I didn't beat them with the Knicks when I first got 2K15, and I was trying to just like test out the rosters. I didn't beat them then. I haven't beaten them during the regular season. I haven't beaten them. The only time I ever beat them was when I had to go off with and ball hog with about 50 for T-Mac. And I think that's because T-Mac is a little bit overpowered, the version I have of him. And yeah, you won't, you know, I'm telling you, like, put this against your friends. That team is unbeatable by so many different realms. They're extremely smart defensively, extremely smart offensively. And the thing about them is they can break up any of your offensive schemes. Like, I'm going to save it for the highlight video when you see who I added to the Knicks, which you should already know because that answer is at least in 2 different places on YouTube. But I'm not going to say nothing. They can break apart any offensive scheme you have because they defend really aggressively. Magic and Michael defend extremely aggressively. And Brad Daugherty is really the difference maker here. Now, I know I upgraded their bench like crazy, but Brad Daugherty, this guy, you know, he stretches the floor for them a little bit because he has a jump shot, which is something Bynum didn't have last year when I had them on there. Dude is a good defender. He's going to foul whoever comes down in the lane hard as shit. And yeah, their bench too is really, they get a nice punch from the bench. You know, the bench is it's mostly Michael Cooper and who's the other guy I said, Nick Young. It's mostly them that hit the shots. Vlade Divac comes in basically to you know, he hits a few hook shots or whatever, but that team is unbeatable, and I'm scared as shit because I might meet them in the finals again for Knicks Lakers too. And if I do, I'm probably gonna show. I don't want to hold myself to that, but I'm gonna maybe show some of that on YouTube. But yeah, Knicks, that Lakers team that I named, that roster is definitely the best roster, and it's better than any roster I just named on this top 10. That shit is crazy. So as you saw, the second part of this video on the title was 3K. ClevelandCavaliers.com. I have to stop right there because I speak too fast and I mess that up. Basically, yeah, you know, comment, email, you know, kick me, Instagram, any ideas that you want to see on the website. The website has been down since the Three Kings New York season took a break because, you know, I just haven't really needed it. Hardwood Classics have been taking care of what I needed them to take care of. But, you know, I do want the website back up before I go back to school, and I haven't really messed with it as much just because I haven't needed to. You know, I sat down and looked at it, and it was just like there just wasn't much to do on it without the season running. You know, I mean, this isn't like build my website for me. This is just tell me ideas that you would like to see, because I think, you know, things work best when you get feedback and you give people some, you know, you get recommendations and people see the recommendations and all that good stuff. So yeah, any recommendation that you have for the website, except for telling me to put the roster on the website, because I've gotten that recommendation 100 times. I want something like a good, if you have a good idea, a good fresh idea, shoot it to me, and I might make it happen on the website, and I'm gonna try to have that back up soon. But yeah, just, you know, you can even leave those in the comments here because I'll be reading through these. And yeah, before I do my next Hardwood Classic video, I will be doing another mix, and this mix will actually basically tell you everything you need to know, I guess. I don't want to say how long through the season, but this next mix, like, you know, I just did the park mix. This mix is for the actual regular season, that a lot of what you guys missed. It'll be covering anything I dropped or added to the Knicks, covering how our season went, at least to the point of you know, around January. You know, it'll basically tell a story for you guys. You know, it'll do the job that the series was supposed to do. So I'm gonna get to work on that. That'll maybe my next video. Not sure, I might do something in between, but yeah, just thought you guys should know that. So yeah, like, comment, subscribe if you enjoyed the video, and I am out.